Hi, I'm Brenda.
And I'm Zach.
And this is Did You Know?
So today we're really excited to talk to you about a part of our service, our Sunday service, that's called the Offertory. So you might be wondering, what is that? What do we do at the Offertory? Well, we offer our gifts. So there's a certain part of the service when you'll see ushers come around the church with a offering plate. And in those offering plates, we put our money. And if you make a commitment online, a financial commitment, you can pick one of these up in the back of the church and place that into the offering plate, recognizing that you've given of yourself and your resources for the sake of God's kingdom. And maybe you forgot money and you forgot to give online. Here's what I would encourage you to do. When the usher comes around with the offering plate, is to reach out your hand and touch the plate rather than say, no, not me, I forgot. Welcome the plate to come towards you and reach out and touch it. Because that's a wonderful way to say that you're offering yourself in service to Jesus, in service to the church, in service to making a difference in the world. So after we take up all of the offering, they're brought to the back of the church. And I want to show you that. Let's try to find where they are. So look at this. A couple of people in the back already with not just offering plates at first. Actually, you'll see Sue is back here, and she's holding really fancy silver. And inside of that, we have bread and we have wine, which will become for us the body and blood of Christ, our great sacrament. So we carry those in special vessels because this is special bread and special wine. And then behind Sue, you'll see Richard. And he was a good usher and took up our offering. You'll see an I Give Online card. You'll see cash. You'll see somebody even put an envelope in here making their commitment. And, some people put their Start Here cards as new members into the plate. So it's all gathered. We're all ready to go. So let's head up to the altar. And we're bringing it from the back of the church because it is a sign that these gifts have come from the gathered church, from you, the people of God. So we're bringing them from the back to the altar where we will offer these great gifts of bread and wine that become for us the bread of life and the cup of salvation. And we offer our money as a sign of our life and our labor. All of this brought to the altar of God to be offered.
So you just saw our ushers bring up the bread and the wine and the offerings that we make of money up to the altar. He explained that it's our gift, and that's why it comes up from the congregation. But sometimes we think about it, and this can be really helpful, as signs of our life and our labor. Now, we don't make the bread and we don't make the wine, but human hands do. But we have money on the altar. Maybe that seems odd, but we get paid for our life and our work, and we get our allowance getting money. So that's a way we can symbolize what we do and what we can offer, and something about who we are, though not everything. So that's what we do here, and all of that is recognized and blessed at the Eucharist because it's a sign that we're blessed at the Eucharist. But it's not always like that. I've been some places where at the offering, very different things come forward. Now, this isn't a live chicken, it's a rooster actually, but I've seen live chickens and vegetables and potatoes and rice and all kinds of things, because those are the real signs of people's life and their labor. And they bring that so that it can be blessed and used by the church in the same way that the bread and wine that comes up at those services is used at the Eucharist, and the things they offer are used to support the church and all the people that they serve. So it's the same everywhere you go in the church, but remember, it can look pretty different. At the end of the service, there's nothing left on the altar except for our altar book so that the priest can help lead us all in our prayers. Where did everything go? Well, we know where the bread and wine went. It became the body and blood of Christ, and we all shared that together in the Eucharist. So the beautiful vessels the bread and the wine were in, they've been put aside and will be put away a little later. But what happens to the money? Well, during the service, one of our acolytes has taken the plates from the table, and I'll show you where. They've come up to this very special place up by the high altar, this funny little cubby hole in the wall. And that means it's safe during the service and out of the way. But we don't want to just leave it there, and we don't. Our ushers and vestry, always at least 2 people come and they get the plates out of that cubby hole. Here they are. And now they're walking to the clergy sacristy. The sacristy is a very funny word that I don't think is used any place but in churches. We have 2. We have an altar guild sacristy, and that's where all the beautiful vessels we use and all that we need to prepare for our services is kept. And then there's the clergy sacristy, which is also a room for preparation. But it's for the clergy. We keep our vestments there and our prayer books and other things we might need. But it's also where our vestry members and our ushers come to count the offering that's been collected. They count it together. They make sure we know how many envelopes were given, how many online cards. Sometimes there are checks, and we count those too, so we have a record. And after they've done the count, they fill in a form which lists all of the money, the envelopes, the online cards, the checks, and they sign it. And one of the clergy always signs it too. Once everything's counted and signed, it all gets put together, except for the online cards. We send them back to the back of the church for the next services. And it goes into a bag, and that bag gets sealed. And then that bag goes to a safe. And then later on in the week, all of that is counted again. The bag is opened, and a member of our staff and a member of our vestry count again. And that makes sure that we got the count exactly right. And then, when that's done, it can go to the bank, and we're able to use it for all of the things we do here in the church and for all of the people we serve outside of the church. So, if you've ever wondered about the offertory, now you know.